Arcane Conquest has 18 new skill perks, and we're going to go over all of them today. First one is the Yielding Wrap, which now is the first trade-off ability. Now for this one, you have to trade 3% of your HP for 3% damage, and this costs 10 skill points to max. Let me show you an example. If I use a Topaz Rain right here, you can see my ticks right here of how much damage I do, and this is with the ability. Now without the ability, you guys can see the ticks actually do a lot less. So it's actually kind of a trade-off, but I don't know if it's worth it. It's pretty far and kind of expensive. Do you guys think it is worth it? Now let's move on to the second one in the red section. The second skill we have here is Warforged, a conditional buff. If you're the last person standing on the arena, or basically the battlefield or the dungeon, you will gain a 7% buff per point that you put there. Now it takes 4 points to max. That means 14% more damage if you are soloing. So if you're soloing, use it. And well, if you're not, if you're doing it in a group, maybe don't, because it's made for soloing. So yeah, make sure to use it when you're solo. The next one here we have is the Molten Forge, which is an upgraded version of the Rune of Flames active skill. So I do have it equipped right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my passive ability here, and you guys can see the damage overall without the upgrade. And now I'm going to buy the upgrade. And now that I have the upgrade, I'm going to use it again. And look at that. It just did it all at once in one powerful 10,000 damage blast. Did you see that? Let's do that again. One blast. That was crazy. And well, yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. Honestly, it makes this skill a lot more interesting, and I think it's awesome generally overall. Is it going to be used a lot? I don't know. I don't really think so, but I still think this looks pretty good. The next one we have right here is Roll of the Dice. Now here, I can go ahead and be lowering my damage, but increasing my chance for critical hits. So if I just use attacks here, I will have a chance to land one powerful critical hit, but instead of doing that, if I don't land one, then it won't be as effective. Unfortunately, I don't think this one will be good because it's really luck reliant, and even at maxed, I still don't feel like it would be a nice trade-off because the damage you have will be negatively voided. On the other one, in the other hand, I think it's better, which is the Valiant Warrior. The Valiant Warrior increases your damage per active skill points for 5%. Basically a 5% increase on all those skill points altogether. I honestly think that's nice. And something that will definitely be used at a higher level, since you need to invest so many skill points into that. So I don't think it will be used right now, but as a future it will definitely be a really nice buff. But there is one skill left, which actually I can't even get because you need 55 levels just to even freaking unlock it. This is the Spear of Fury. The Spear of Fury requires level 55 and will basically shoot one big spear forward. And having that spear will do a 30 times multiplier of damage, so basically a ton of damage. Unfortunately, I don't know if this is worth it, even for the highest level of players. The reason I think of this is because the amount you have to invest in this. You basically have to give in all your points into the damage marker to be able to use this. Do you think this is worth it? Let me know if you're over level 55 and can use it. For the first one in the green section, or the middle one, the shield area, we have is the Heavily Armored, which is a trade-off. Now, the Heavily Armored increases your HP, but lowers your speed. For example, if I take off my boots here, which actually give me speed, and I walk, this is my speed. But if I go ahead and do this here and invest fully into this, I will have a lot more HP. Yes, but I move slower. A lot slower. I may as well just become a turtle. Do I think this is going to be used? Absolutely not. But I still think it's a nice little trade back here for an addition. You don't really have to take it, since there is another option here, which is the next one we're going to cover. And the next one right here is the conditional buff, which is Leaders of Armies. This is perfect when you're grinding in a group. New dungeon, perfect for this. the more people, the better, because here you gain 2% max HP for every player in your team. So imagine a full server, you can actually get pretty much doubling your HP and making the dungeons way more easier. And I gotta remove this slow speed. The next one we have here is the Master of Herbs, a buff to the Mending Herbs ability. It basically means that your healing will have an effect overall like a healing spell, like right here. For the regular one, it would just be a one and done. But here, it will leave consistent healing and make this a potential more healing class more when people start to get more levels in the game, which is really, really cool in general. Obviously, I think the range right here is a little bad, but I feel like it's nice, it's better than 0, and it's something that may even change in the future. Now, that's for the skill upgrade ability. There's still 3 more, and they look super unique. Now, for the next one we have here is another trade-off. Increase 50% health and decrease 60 damage output. Self-explanatory. Trade your HP for damage. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. No one's gonna do this. Probably not. It sounds like a horrible, horrible, horrible trade-off, but it's still in the game. And for the other one right here, which I actually cannot afford, is an active skill. Now, this active skill says take no damage from more sources of damage for 2.5 seconds. That sounds OP, bro. That sounds like really, really overpowered. And, well, maybe not going to be used right now, as most of the players aren't even over level 60. If we grab the leaderboard here, we can actually scroll down, and if we scroll down, there's not even 100 players at level 60 yet. So we can't even expect this. So majority players aren't going to be using this, but in the future, this sounds OP, bro. It really does. And there's one more left, which is the Heroic Defense. Another active skill. When activated, nearby allies get a 10% of their max HP as shield. This sounds amazing as a healer. It sounds like this shield area is mostly focused as a healer thing, and more abilities can go around a healer instead of only you healing yourself with mental herbs or paladin with spells, which I just think is pretty nice overall, but it's obviously going to be a dungeon or two before these are starting to be actively used. Now, we have one section left, which is the win section, and we're going to cover them all. Let's do this. The first win ability we have here is Adrenaline Rush, which basically activates double speed and invincibility for a very short time. So I can just press T here, and I'm going to go really, really, really fast, but it only lasts for like a quarter of the spell duration, so most of the time, I'm not going to be using this. I still think the dash is going to be way better than this, but I think it's pretty cool overall. Might be used in the future, but I don't really see much of a use for it, to be honest. The next one is Master of Winds, which reduces the cooldown and mobility of skill points by 5%. So basically, when I use my spells now, it does nothing, because it actually helps with my active abilities. My active abilities now 7.7 seconds instead. So it's basically like a combo. So you can combo this with other ones, or this one with a dash to go even faster. So I think this could be usable, definitely more than this thing that I'm using right now. Like, it can be comboed with any ability, but I still think it's nice overall. But we still have the bottom ones left here to review. For the Void Dancer, which is the next one here, dash becomes an abyssal charge, increasing range. So for this one, our dash becomes a super mega deadly. That's why I think this area does not look better. And I was actually just kicked. That kick actually crashed my recording. I don't know why I said actually twice, but here are basically the rest of the spells explained. Now, you already know the super quick dash where you can just combo these both and become a freaking speed demon. But for the other ones, for example, right here, the literal ability Speed Demon is dealing damage will increase your speed by 20% for one hit. Perfect for hitting, dashing away, and well, having more speed overall, allowing you to do better reflexes and better dodges. Unfortunately, I don't think any of these final three will be used unless top players maybe in the next update due to how much it costs. For the other one is a trade-off, All In, which increases movement speed but removes HP. More of a glass cannon to be faster. More speed to get you kicked off the game because how fast you're going. And the final one is the Heroic Bolt. Finally, my favorite ability, active ability, gets a buff. Now, I don't know how this is, nor I can afford it, but if I had to take a guess, you would make a massive jump, and from that jump you would do a Grid Slam to do a certain amount of damage, actually, maybe even making that a spell or active ability viable. I think that's pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and waddle out, my friends.